G'day folks, Connor here from CW Tech Reviews, back with another video. And today we're reviewing the S167 GPS drone by, I don't even know who makes it, but let's see what you get for $100 in the world of drones. So can you even get off the ground for $100 in the world of drones? Well, you can, but it's not all beer and Skittles. The S167 can be bought on Amazon for around $120. But if you search for it on YouTube, you can't find much information on. There's one video that was purely a paid advertisement for the device, and it wasn't filmed with the camera on this, although it makes out that it was, so it's a pretty bad setup. And the other one was just someone showing you that it can fly and that the GPS does work. Didn't really touch on too much else. So I took it out, I gave it my best shot, and this is the results that I got with this drone. So in the box, I get a drone, I get a controller, which looks pretty cheap, sort of Kmart-y sort of setup. There's the controller, your phone sits in here. I also got two charging cables with these weird bits on the end of them. Now one is for the controller and the other one is for the battery. I've got 3 batteries in the box as well, and I must say they do look like explosive devices, but they are batteries and they do charge. They did also come with a lot of warnings. Says do not leave these unattended while they're charging. Do not charge these with third-party chargers and the wrong cable and all sorts. I was a bit like, whoa, should I be using this? Should I even be putting this near electricity? But I gave it a crack, and so far so good. And I also got some spare propellers and a screwdriver and a couple of other little tools as well for repairing it. Now the batteries are 1300 milliamp, and with all 3 batteries, I think I got about 45 minutes of flight time, maybe a little bit longer. Now that's not too bad, that's pretty average. But let me talk about build quality. So I picked this up, it gets delivered, and I'm like, beauty, let's try this bad boy out. But as soon as I got it out of the box, it feels very, very light. It feels like something you would get from Kmart, you know, like a remote control car or something. Just that sort of really light, plasticky build quality. It's pretty savage in the way it's been built, but for $100, what do you expect? You can see it's got 2 lights on the front here, the camera, and there's 4 lights, 1 on each propeller as well, to help you know when it's balanced correctly and all that sort of thing. It wasn't the best unboxing experience, trying to look happy with what you got, but inside you're dying, you're absolutely dying because you realize what you've got, and that's probably the experience you're going to get with this. Now, in saying that the build quality feels really cheap and plasticky, I have crashed this thing about 7 or 8 times. And now, no, not massive crashes, but enough for me to think that it was not going to work any longer. Maybe half of those crashes have been because of me just flying it into the ground, and the other half have been because I was trying to navigate it past a tree, and it doesn't always fly exactly where you tell it. And it just sort of veers to one side like that, and bang, it hit a tree a few times. And that experience I had a number of times, and a couple of times, I didn't catch this on video, but it just seemed to attack me. I was standing in a picnic shelter, and it flew into the picnic shelter where I was and just went crazy, and it looked like it was going to attack me and the camera and all sorts of things. Some issues there with reliability when it comes to flying and knowing where it's going and the GPS actually working properly. And there has also been some reviews online that I've read, just like in the Google Play Store and stuff, where this thing has just decided to fly in one direction and never come home, ever. Goodbye. So the build is a tough one. It feels like crap, but it's taken a bit of a beating. Best way to describe it, plastic, 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 plastic. Now, ease of use. This thing is not user-friendly, unfortunately. Like, it took me 3 days to download the application for it from the Play Store. 3 days. On the first day, I contacted their support, and they're like, hey, what are you talking about? Tell us the model of your phone and the model of the drone. So I sent that off, and 2 days later, it somehow was downloading from the store. So I think they maybe had some issues. I told them I was going to be reviewing it, and it took a couple of days there for it to be downloadable. Then it took me about 30 to 45 minutes of sitting there with the drone and the controller and my phone, trying to figure out how to get this thing to work. I was following all the instructions, it just wasn't working. And then all of a sudden, it started working. So that was a little bit frustrating. And it was the same experience over and over again. The battery would go flat, I'd put a new one in, and I'd have to set it all up again. Wouldn't just remember everything, turn on and user-friendly and take off again. You had to set it up again and balance it and gyro balance it and all that sort of thing. And it would forget, and it was just a challenge and a half to get this thing to work. Okay, here comes the fun part, and this is the camera quality and stabilization. Well, as you can see, the camera quality is 720p. And you can see in the top right-hand corners of the video clip that you can see the propellers in the image. Why? I don't get it. You're not going to use it for camera anything because the propellers are in it and the image is that bad. And the one place it could have actually maybe done a little bit better that would have made it worth purchasing could be that camera. I mean, if it was 1080p and you didn't see the bloody propellers in the footage, then maybe you could work with it. But everything was off. White balance is off. Everything, the image looks terrible. It looks grainy. It looks broken. Yeah. And then the stabilization, there really isn't any stabilization. And look at this is the image that you're looking at now. That's as good as it gets. Doesn't get any better. It's just what it is. So that's what you get for $100. And that's not all bad. I mean, it is still fun to fly a drone, even if it is not for the picture quality. So, what am I going to do with this? I'm probably just going to keep using it to chase my daughter around the paddock, or she can use it to chase me around the paddock. We had a lot of fun doing that. She would attack me with the drone, and then it would be my turn, and I'd attack her. And we always tried not to fully get each other, but it was good fun and, made for some good bonding. I would recommend it. Definitely attack your kids with the drone. I'd save your pennies. See what else is out there. I've also just recently picked up the DJI Mavic Mini, and that is something worth looking at. You should save your pennies, instead of paying $100 for this, save up a little bit more. You get to the $400-$500 mark and pick yourself up the DJI Mavic Mini. It'll be worth waiting for. It'll be worth saving your money for. Anyway, it's charged up. I'm going down the park. I'm going to get my daughter to attack me with the drone again because we always have fun when she's attacking me with a drone. Any good kid would enjoy that.